Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? So,
Good
hey,
evening.
I champion. And tonight we are graced with the presence of Invert T Party.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, Phil, for having me on tonight. I'm honestly really excited to be here and can't wait to chat with everyone who joins and chat with you, of course. You are the legend. So, yeah, happy to be here.
No, thank you for agreeing to come on. Hey, Tyler. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, Tyler.
Well, as people are coming, we'll dive straight in. So we'll introduce yourself to everyone watching, especially in case they haven't heard of you. Because I'd say you're mainly on TikTok, but you're on YouTube as well. But I think TikTok seems to be where you're most sort of known.
Definitely. I mean, I am trying to slowly expand into sort of TikTok and Instagram just to try and reach, wider audiences. But TikTok is very much where it started, and it's where I do my sort of weekly live streams and try to do most of my education. But saying that, I would love to actually grow YouTube. And yeah, I feel like this is a good opportunity, to work with people like you and everyone else in the hobby.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we'll put empty links in the chat for TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube throughout the stream. And if any mods can also do that as well, would be absolutely fantastic.
Please give me a follow if you don't already.
Go over and give MZ a follow. So we'll take it right back to what made you get sort of interested in inverts and sort of tarantulas and sort of in general.
I think honestly it's a bit of a weird one, but my first memory of a tarantula was when I was 2 years old, and that's where the obsession started. So I grew up in Switzerland. My parents took me to a zoo in Zurich, and out of all the animals there, 2-year-old me just fell in love with their Mexican red knee, and I don't know why. I don't have very many memories of why, but I begged them to take a photo. And for many years, I had that photograph up in my bedroom. And like this sort of interest just spiraled from there, really. I remember doing, I think it was like a talk at school about spiders and tarantulas. I was trying to sort of tell people why you shouldn't be scared. I helped out with Natural History Club, and honestly, the interest just grew. I was never really allowed to keep tarantulas in my parents' house. So I just kept educating myself, kept, watching all the amazing creators out there to learn as much as I could. And now, once I was able to move out and have my own place, I just went absolutely crazy. And now I have over 80 in my collection. So I don't know what sparked it, but I like to think maybe it was because I wanted to sort of fight for the unloved, or, just stand up for the animals that maybe aren't as spoken about or as popular. But that's really how I got into it. And the fascination is still there, many, many years later. And hopefully I'll always have a tarantula in my life. So that's really where it began for me.
Fantastic. So yeah, so really, really early in terms of that fascination then, which is amazing.
It's great, if anything.
So, I don't know. I got interested in, my first love was reptiles, and I got interested in that when I was 7. So,
I mean, that's awesome.
Sometimes those early things, but the fact that you then carried it on, and although you weren't allowed to keep when with your parents, but when did you sort of first start keeping them? When was that?
I think it must be probably around 5 years ago now. I mean, growing up, I did have some pets. I had like stick insects, and I had triops, the little shrimp things, giant African land snails. What else did I have? I had a pygmy hedgehog. I always had some form of animal, but it was just the tarantulas I was never allowed. So I think I got my first one probably about 5 years ago, and he's the lovely Brachypelma harmori, so the Mexican red knee, and very creatively, I just named him Baby T. Just Baby T, why not? And I've still got him, which is lovely, because as you know, males don't live very long, but thankfully brachypelmas are very slow growing. I certainly have some slings that I'm positive will outlive me. They are still tiny. So about 5 years, and I think I started Invert T Party maybe a year and a half ago. I always wanted to do that sort of animal education, particularly about, tarantulas, scorpions, inverts. But I just never had the confidence to. And it was really thanks to two of my friends who just said, look, just do it. Just post a video on TikTok. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, 5-star, super professional, whatever. And I'm really glad I did, because I sort of just started falling in love with being able to share what excites me. And when you then hear people, giving you positive feedback saying, oh, you've helped me overcome my fear of spiders, or you helped me, with my first tarantula, it's really, really rewarding. And I just feel like, now that is my biggest passion and my biggest goal. I want to continue that. And honestly, I could see myself doing it for the rest of my life.
No, that's amazing. And yeah, totally get where you're coming from with the whole just trying to put stuff out there sort of online and stuff. I was very similar in that I never imagined putting anything online and stuff about what I keep, and thought of filming myself and putting out there on the internet and stuff was alien to me when I first started.
Oh, bless you.
For me it was actually during lockdown that kind of gave me the push to do it, and doing a live stream for my work, and end up rambling for an hour about tarantulas on a live stream that was being watched by head of inverts at Chester Zoo and head of inverts at London Zoo and this at the other. And I was like, well, I fucking rambled to people like that for an hour on a Facebook live stream, on a zoo's Facebook page, and then maybe I can film my stuff and put it out on YouTube. So,
I'm so glad that you found that confidence.
Kind of gave me the push to start doing that sort of thing. And it was that thing of going. We sort of had like a secret, little group just for people at the park, and mainly for the people that weren't working at that time. And it was only like really 4 of us working. And I was like, oh, I'll share some stuff about what I've got, privately, because most of the people don't know what I keep. So and all the other keepers and shop staff and all that were like, oh, you ever thought about putting it on like YouTube or anything? So I was like, no. Would anyone watch it? Sort of thing.
Well,
and then I was like, actually, it doesn't matter. Let's just do it and see what happens.
I think that's the most important part. If you love doing it, then it doesn't matter if one or 1,000 people watch.
Yeah, you do it for yourself and stuff, and like it's mental now. Well, one of the backs, like, I've grown the collection far bigger than I ever thought I was going to grow it.
Oh,
thing, and made it a business, which is insane.
That is the dream. It really, really is.
It's Craig. He's been a member for 31 months, which is insane.
Oh, yeah.
He's missed my lives. Yeah, no, I've missed him as well. I had to take a little break because I wasn't able to do a few Mondays, and then I had a festival and stuff. And then, but we're back now. I've actually got guests for most of September.
That's so exciting.
Which is I've just got one more day to fill in. But I've already decided that if I don't have guests, it's going to be then roundtable discussions on a topic and stuff. And we'll just choose a random topic. And so we'll have a roundtable discussion about it. Hey Lee, how you doing, mate?
Hello everybody. I can't actually see the comments, so I'm just relying on you, Phil, to tell me what's happening.
If any questions pop up, I will highlight them. So you started about 5 years ago, just getting your first tarantula, and you now got sort of around 80, you said.
Around that, I think it's probably over 80 to be honest. And
get to the point where you just lose count.
You do, and even though I keep track, so I basically make a note of who I've fed and when they molt and everything on my phone notes. It's not as organized as it could be, but I just like to keep
organized than me.
Oh, really? That makes me feel better. But it's just nice to have that record, and it's just funny. I always started sort of thinking, oh, I'll never have old world tarantulas. I was like, I'll just have one tarantula, or maybe two. I'll have a Mexican redknee and the Grammostola pulchra, because they're like nice beginner species. But it is just so addicting, and I think it's the inner scientist of wanting to study them, and by observing all the different species, arboreals, terrestrial, fossorial, they all have different behaviors. It sort of gave me the confidence to just keep getting more, essentially. And the collection just started to grow. I helped a friend sort of breed some tarantulas, and I think it is the best way to learn. Like, you can only read so much, but actually observing them yourself is the best sort of first-hand experience. I never would have thought I'd have as many old worlds as I do, because I used to be very like, oh no, they're really defensive, they're really fast. But now some of my favorite species include old worlds, and
Yep.
I think it's just a confidence thing. The more experience you have, the more second nature it is. But to be honest, I could easily see myself getting a collection of over 100 very quickly.
Yeah, no, it's very, very easy to do. And I think with like the old world, I think so many people, when you first get into it, you always hear bad things about the old worlds, and then when you get old, you realise, oh, they're nothing like what they're made out to be. So they're not as, if they're kept correctly, they're nowhere near as defensive as what they're made out to be, and I find far easier to work with than some of my new worlds.
Oh, so like they don't keep hairs,
so and I, especially things like OBT's classic one of having a bad reputation, which really isn't deserved, in my opinion. Hey, husband.
I was literally going to say OBT is probably yeah, my one is just so chilled, like the easiest rehouse I've ever done.
As it, yeah, you always, hear on oh, they're the spawners Satan and this, that, the other, this, that, the other. But it's like, actually, no, if they're in the correct sort of setup, they're really shy.
It's hide.
Yeah, as soon as you disturb them, just go down their burrow and hide away.
Exactly. And I think, to be honest, like, that's a part of it, because often the ones you see that are sort of very defensive, they're just kept in a very shallow box where they cannot hide. They can't get away. So that sort of means it's their last resort to give you a threat posture and sort of, show their fangs. So you can't really blame them.
No, not at all. So and that's the thing, that I think it's where once people do get an old one, then that, sort of past that bit, they then realize that actually old worlds are so beautiful, they're so nice and stuff, and really sometimes really underrated.
Definitely.
So that's when people go heavily into then the old worlds. I still love the new worlds as well. Love them all.
Definitely. Which was what was your sort of first old world? Did you do the classic thing of having a P. Armenia, which is a new world, but
my first old world was an HMAC.
Very nice, and straight in the deep
end. That was my first old world, and stuff, and yeah, I think that was my first arboreal as well.
Oh, amazing! What a way to get into it.
Sort of thing. I was just like, that looks really nice. I'm going to get that. So, my first ever transfer was a rosea. At the time, Terry, but yeah, the sort of the normal colour form, no colour form, or whatever you want to call it, stuff, which I wasn't allowed.
So you were more well behaved than I was. I was so tempted to sneak one in, but
I stuck it in. I attempted to sneak. I thought I could sneak it in. It got found.
Oh no!
And I got told off. And very much like, because my dad's arachnophobic.
Oh no!
And it was like, we've allowed you to keep all these reptiles, all these other inverts and stuff. The only thing we said you couldn't keep was spiders, and you gone out and got a tarantula. What the hell? My mum found my dad in there. She was like, if you're going to keep this, you either move out or you build something in the garden. So I was like, I can get a big shed. Cool, I'll build a big shed in the garden then.
Love the
and now my mum has her own collection of tarantulas, so it all worked out in the end.
It was meant to be.
Lee made a good comment there. It's like playing Pokemon, but the adult version.
So true. Got to catch them all. I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. You can probably see the Pikachu hat. And I've got a little Mew on my desk, and yeah, it's one of my many special interests.
It is a bit. Osmond's his first transfer was Pokéreflata, nice species as well. Beautiful.
What a lovely one to start with.
And that's the first ever tarantula as well. Fantastic.
It's brave.
Again, I mean, Poke's again another one where so many, when you first saw it, you hear all this horror stories about Pokes, and they're nothing like what they're made out to be.
Just skittered.
They're like the only one that's ever given me any kind of run around, and that was purely because it got lost in the post for a couple of days. was my Pokemon Miranda. I was like, yeah, you got lost in the post a couple of days, and I'm only going to be a bit eager to get out the vial.
Understandable.
I think I lost in it got posted, and the post office never actually posted it.
No, that's so
it
sad.
Sat in the post office.
Poor little thing.
So made me absolutely fine, but like, yeah, it was a bit peed off, and I was like, yeah, that's understandable.
I'd be angry too, to be fair.
Rich.
Hello, everybody.
That's Rich Newell from One Shared Brain Cell.
One Shared Brain Cell, Rich. Hello.
Fantastic podcast.
Legend. Honestly, it's always a good laugh being on that podcast, and all the episodes are just incredible. Like, really, really awesome.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely fantastic. So,
I'm proud to have my OSB sticker, which they kindly sent to me. I, represent proudly.
So, in terms of, is it just tarantulas, or do you have other things as well?
So I also have other things, but probably nowhere near as exotic as what you have. But I have 2 snakes. So I have a rescue royal python called Loki, and I have a snowmorph western hognose called Lucifer. They're really lovely. I also have other inverts, including scorpions, vinegaroons, tail-whipped scorpion, death beetles, emerald cockroaches, Peruvian black beauty stick insects. Trying to think what else. Pink dragon millipedes. Anything I forgot behind me. True spiders. A giant African bullfrog as well called King Oscar, who is, I'd say, probably my biggest, or like he's the most popular animal on my TikTok channel. Everyone loves him, and he's got his own little magnets and a little crown that he wears, hence being King Oscar. I also have an African fat-tailed gecko called Crumpet, who's also a rescue, 2 fish tanks, and technically 7 dogs. So I say technically, so 2 of them are my own. They're 2 Pomeranians, and then 5 days a week, my mum drops her chihuahuas off. So she has 5 chihuahuas. So I regularly have 7 small dogs in the house. So it is a madhouse. And I also have a Sphinx cat, which I actually picked up 2 days ago. So he's a rescue too.
Nice.
So it's quite a menagerie.
It might have been the best way to be.
100%. Oh, and the isopods, of course. How could I forget the isopods?
Oh yeah, don't forget isopods.
Connor, thank you, King Oscar, the best. Connor is an amazing supporter of King Oscar, and you've actually got a resin King Oscar coming on its way to you, so look forward to that, Connor.
I've got another. Oh, hail King Oscar!
Oh, King Oscar. He is the legend.
Because I do like African bullfrogs. Used to have a couple here at the park years ago, rescue ones, and yeah, they were awesome. Absolutely, they're grumpy as anything.
They are, and they're quite lazy as well, or at least King Oscar is.
Yep, yeah. You had to hand them the food essentially, because if it was more than a couple of inches away from them, they're like, I ain't bothering getting that.
Exactly.
Why would I bother?
I got him a little paddling pool for when it's nice weather outside, and then I put like dechlorinated water in because I thought he'd enjoy having more space. But he literally just sat there. I was like, look, this is fun. He was just like, just take me back to my dirt hole.
What is this? I just want to be in dirt.
Exactly. So how many animals do you have? You must have quite the collection yourself.
I mean, if you count every single individual one, up here now, there's probably well over 1,000.
Wow. Does that include every individual isopod?
That would like include every single individual kind of thing, which would be insane to count every single individual. But there's literally tubs everywhere. So, I mean, and some of it is, and I've got what, I don't know, 70 to 100 Arata slings. We've got
Wow.
50 baby scorpions at the moment.
That's amazing.
So it appears, obviously, well, so because the past sort of couple of years I've then transitioned into the business side as well as hobby.
Yeah.
There's a good chunk up here nowadays that's stock for website and shows, as well as breeding stock for me to breed, and then just ones that are like, these are just my pets I like to keep. So there's a mismatch of everything kind of thing. And then, well, it's everything from, I don't know if I've got any tree spiders at the moment. I'm going to get tree spiders again because I do like keeping trees. But yeah, tarantulas, scorpions. Love scorpions. They were one of my first loves as an invert keeper.
Oh, amazing!
Was the scorpions. And so I've got centipedes, millipedes, giant snails, tiny snails, slugs. So various vampire crabs.
Oh, I love vampire crabs. I think that's one of the next ones I'd love to keep.
Vampire crabs are absolutely fantastic. So far, I've bred 2 types.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Actually, technically, I've bred 3 types, but I've only got 2 types at the moment. So, in terms of babies, what's it got here? Well, I've got vinegaroons, Taylor Swift scorpions. What was it? All the isopods. Lots of different isopods.
How many species do you have, or have you lost count?
Over 100 colonies.
Oh my goodness, that's very impressive.
Yeah, it's now over 100 colonies, and there's still more I want.
That is amazing.
There's always more. And it's like, oh, this is cool. They got the stick insects and leaf insects as well. Anything else up here? That's the ants.
Oh, very nice.
There's a colony of ants literally behind my laptop.
That's awesome.
Various cockroaches, which includes everything from standard hissers to the emeralds to extinct cave rock cockroaches.
Wow,
assassin mimic cockroaches, stuff which are awesome. Anything else up here? That's beetles. Yeah, can't forget the beetles.
I'm sure I've forgotten someone. Don't you worry.
There's always going to be something that I'm like something obscure that I've got up here that I've forgotten about. Assassin bugs.
Very cool. And what about? Do you have any mammals or?
Not up here. Northern Parents. So the only mammals are out the window within my work.
Oh, fair enough.
Because I live in the middle of my work, so literally, straight across my window, straight over there is ringtail lemurs.
That's amazing. I'm very, very jealous.
And over there is a tiger.
Wow. Well,
but they're not mine. They're part of my work.
Honestly, you're so lucky. To be able to do that as your full-time job, it's a dream.
It is. It's hard work as well, but yeah, it's all a dream. But what makes it sometimes hard is obviously doing that and then this as well. So I have to be very conscious of keeper fatigue.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of every day I'm working with inverts and reptiles as my day job anyway. I've finished that, come up here, and I'm surrounded by inverts, and then I do this as well. So it's like sometimes I have to make sure that I'm not getting too kind of fatigued just with invert stuff.
Yeah, of course, because technically you never get a break from it. Like with an office, you sort of leave your office, right? But actually, you are surrounded by your office.
This is it, yeah. And I know many zookeepers that with private collections that have either given up their job to keep their private, or they've given up their private collection to stay in their job because they're like, this is becoming a chore and stuff. And I was said, like, it was in that position, you got to give one of them up if you're not enjoying it. And then so I have to be very sort of conscious of that. That as soon as anything becomes a chore, it's like, right, I need to readdress sort of things and stuff to make sure that it's never a chore.
I think it's a good start, that you're aware of it, so you can sort of help to, change things to make it more enjoyable, because the love for the animals is there no matter what. It's just being able to manage it and have that free time in between.
That's it, yeah. But one of the things I try not to have too much up here that I have in my work.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bits that overlap because they're really easy to breed and stuff and sort of things. But otherwise, I try to have different to work. So it's not like, oh, I've looked after those already today, kind of thing. Stuff, which is always stuff. Which it's just something that you've got to bear in mind, especially with. I mean, well, it doesn't matter what size of collection, really, whether it's large or small.
Exactly.
It takes a long time to look after everything.
It does, and you want to be able to enjoy the animals as well. So, in theory, I can probably feed everyone behind me quite quickly. Well, it'll probably still take me over an hour, dropping in crickets and everything. But I genuinely just enjoy sitting down, taking videos, photos, seeing how everyone's doing, and really enjoying, what they look like, their behaviors. I love watching them do their little happy dances when you feed them, and I think that's part of that enjoyment. And I'm sure you must be very similar, but I find they're very much my escape. And when you're sort of looking after the animals or caring for them, it feels like, or at least for me, it feels like it's the only time my brain sort of goes quiet and I genuinely feel at peace. It is my therapy, literally.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us kind of share that sentiment, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So, all the time, but from pretty much everyone, it's they come home from a job and it's like, right, going to my animal room and I'm in there for an hour just to do stuff and kind of relax by doing some feeding, some watering, some spraying, whatever it is.
Exactly.
And stuff. It is that thing that I think we, pretty much all of us sort of share.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I guess it'll be interesting to know, because you've got obviously a lot of amazing animals and you work with a lot of amazing animals. But is there an animal on your list which is a dream animal that you would love to keep in a private collection?
Oh, there's so many.
Okay, top 10.
Oh, that's top 10.
Put you on the spot now.
I mean, well, in terms of reptile, I don't have any reptiles up here at all. My parents are reptiles, but if money and space was, no object, probably a black water monitor, so a black dragon.
Oh, they
Love
are
a black
gorgeous.
dragon. Stunning animals. Me and Amy were trying to convince my mum to get one for ages from one of our favourite shops, Healy, because he had a couple in and one of them was getting quite friendly.
Oh.
Sort of thing. But my parents decided in the end, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, I mean, they're not cheap and they need a lot of space. That's probably a sensible move on their part, kind of thing. So, but just stunning animals.
They are beautiful. They look surreal. They honestly look like a dragon.
Well, that's a much more realistic animal than a Komodo dragon. So,
yeah, they are also amazing.
Especially for private. Now in zoo, I'd love to work with Komodo dragons, but probably never be able to own one. In terms of invertebrate, I mean, even some of the super obscure isopods out there. There's some that they're far outside of my price range. I would love to have, but just can't justify it.
Yeah.
So especially the ones that are in the hundreds per pod.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, you can't do that
big
one.
investment.
Yep. If they ever come down in price and become sort of affordable, then maybe. But otherwise, I mean, see, scorpions. I've got quite a few of the main scorpions I would want. I mean, big Swamadami is really nice, but I've got a young Swamadami.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so otherwise I've got an Emperor, which it's a male, which hopefully might go off to Jeremy for pairing with his female to breed some Emperors.
I have a female, but she's not fully grown. So if he's still around, which he may not be, he's got another girlfriend waiting here.
And then there's things that come up. In terms of centipedes, something like a giant white leg would be amazing, or a Heros, which are some of the big American ones.
They are
or
pretty.
The Malaysian jewel, which is absolutely stunning. But the Malaysian jewel is like 300 quid.
Yeah. Again, it's such a big commitment.
it's a lot of money.
It is.
So I might not ever be able to breed it. Sort of thing.
That's the thing.
So it's like that can wait. What about you? Is there anything that's like on your real wish if money was no object and perhaps space was no object?
I think for me the big one is I'd love some form of monitor lizard, because I have a friend who you might know in the hobby as Keen Exotics, and he has an amazing Tegu and an amazing Bosque monitor.
Tigers are lovely.
So if I had the space, I would love to have one, and essentially have it roam the house with the rest of my sort of four-legged creatures, because they are just so beautiful. And I know they're not as rare anymore, or as sort of sought after, but it is just the space, because I would want to give it a really big enclosure, be able to give it the attention that it really needs, and treat it right. I think for me, something that's interactive like that. But in terms of inverts, I'd really love a mint leg centipede. They're very cool.
Mint legs are stunning as well.
They are. Again, it looks like someone's painted their little legs, and I'm just obsessed. So that's on the list. I wouldn't mind the P. Solaris tarantula, of course.
Yep.
I have had the opportunity to buy a few along the way, but I've always sort of said, actually, no, it is a lot of money, and if something happens, I'm just not ready, for that risk. So I'm just waiting a little bit, but it would be cool to have one.
And again, they're absolutely stunning. Whenever I've seen a Solaris, it's like, that is something, but it's like, oof, that price tag.
I know, I think the sort of, for me, the biggest leap was I recently bought a female Abdo Megaphobema mesomelas. So I don't know the common name, but I paid 200 quid for a really small grown-on sling, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to be living off beans. But she is really stunning. But I literally do fret. I'm every day I'm like, is she alive? Is she still there? Has she escaped? It's just that worry.
Hey, mate.
So definitely trying to get into those rarer species, because I do like those oddities. But like you say, it's hard actually finding someone to breed with. I have a N. fasciaringa, the bumblebee tarantula.
Nice.
I think that's, again, I've probably butchered the Latin name, but they are really, really stunning. But again, I just cannot find a male for her. She's an adult female. So if anyone out there has one, hit me up. I've got a female, and you can have half the slings if they are successful. But I think, as much as I love those rare species, it is hard when you've just got one and you can't find anyone else to sort of help grow the species.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've obviously had when I had Brave, he's a Sunrock Sagora, mine ended up being a male. So when I'm mature, I sent it off, but then she the female had a sack and then ate the sack, and was like, God's sake.
No, that's so it's sad when that happens.
And by that point, he'd then passed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
One of those things that happens and stuff. But at least he had the opportunity, at least.
Exactly. He went out with a bang and sort of.
That was a bit of an impulse buy, because I didn't buy a sling. It was sort of grown on, and you can see all the neon legs on it.
Yeah.
And I was at a commentary show, because I had a really good commentary show. So I was like, right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this Sunrock Scorum.
They are good. My one actually is the only tarantula I've ever had escape. So I put her in this really nice glass coffin enclosure from Custom Aquaria, and there was a little gap in the lid, which I had seen. So I put like a little bit of mesh, thinking, it's fine, she's not going to get out. And the next day I looked and she'd pushed away the mesh. And somehow, I mean, initially I was like searching, I was sifting through all the dirt going, oh my God, please just be buried, please be buried, please be buried. She was not in there. And I literally spent about 3 hours just turning the house upside down, trying to find her. It was more, I was really worried, obviously, about her getting injured and her potentially biting one of the small dogs. I'd pretty much given up hope after 3 hours, but then something told me to look behind my guitars, and she was just sat there. And I was like, oh my God, I could have just looked over there and you were probably there the whole time. So, yeah, I love the species, but I also have a love-hate relationship.
So I just made a good point when we were talking about Solaris. It just says, as long as Solaris is just labelled as SP, he won't go near it. There might be a colour form of a different species, like like the Samapaeus Black Orchid. People are buying for 200. Turns out to be Reduncus dark colour form. Yeah, I remember when that paper came out saying that the Black Orchid was just a Reduncus. And I was like, suddenly their value just dropped. I was like, oof, ouch.
I guess it's part of that learning process.
Yeah, sort of thing. And it's like, I mean, well, even the Iceball game, some of the like expensive ones, you buy expensive one within a year, they're half price.
Yeah,
sometimes it's like, the value just drops so quickly. Sometimes
I feel like I was seeing that with the Mesomelas as well, and I saw someone like selling one for half the price that I paid, and I was like, "Are you joking?" It's just one of those things. It's a risk, and even like the lava tarantula, so the D species Panama, they've started going down in price. I think the C. natanicarum as well, like the like what used to be the species electric blue, they used to be an insane price, and now you can literally buy them for like 25 quid. It's just about that sort of availability.
Yeah, it's always it's supply and demand and everything. And what people think is, I mean, I remember the days when an adult emperor scorpion was a tenner.
Yeah.
And now an adult emperor scorpion, actually, especially if it's female, you're looking probably like 150 quid.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And maybe 100 quid if you're lucky sometimes, but I've seen 150 quid for juvenile females, which is like that's expensive for juvenile female emperor. But
it is.
Used to be they'd be I mean, they were always just well caught and that was it, kind of thing. So they were cheap. But the same with chili roast ranches. My first chili roast ranch was pretty much sub-adult and a tenner from a shop.
Yeah.
Another thing and stuff, and you try to get an adult sub-adult adult female chili roast for a tenner nowadays. Good luck.
Oh, you just won't find one. Like, they're so hard to come by.
Like, even a sling now, you're normally looking at kind of 30, 35 quid.
Exactly. But they are lovely. And I think it's all because of the sites, isn't it? And like, over collecting in the different countries. And it's just.
And I mean, again, bang, all the chili roses were just well caught. And chili closes borders, which is fair enough. Kind of thing. So, and then again, it's that supply and demand thing. Or how much demand is there for the species? So from the isopod world, one of the biggest ones in terms of drop of value was Panda King isopods.
Oh yeah.
Which me and Chris always wind Jeremy up about, because Jeremy paid over 100 quid for Panda Kings when they first came into the hobby. Like my first comparison, my mum paid like 50 quid for 10 of those, and I now sell 10 at a tenner.
Oh,
and there's people that are cheaper than me. Sort of thing.
Wow.
And it's sort of like in the space of a few years, they've gone down so much in price. Kind of thing. And even like rubber duckies.
Yeah.
Used to be one that I was like never going to get because it's too expensive. Sort of thing. And nowadays, I mean, I tend to send them sort of 45 quid, but I've seen them cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. That's
They
it,
are
because
very cool though.
Jeremy gave Chris his whole colony, and then the red panda turned up in it after Jeremy gave it away. So, and then another one that, the red panda morph was really expensive. Within a year, it's fairly cheap now. The pink pandas, when they were like 175 for 5, and now they're like 10 for like 50 for, even sometimes 30 quid.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because when they do successfully breed, they have a lot of babies. So it's like all of a sudden
Yeah,
in the
they breed
hobby,
quickly.
yeah, it's like suddenly in the hobby when there was none, it's suddenly there's tons. And then obviously you've got that supply demand, and it's like, well, now you can, to get rid of them, you have to sell them really cheap.
That's it. That's it. So, I mean, that's the same with them all. Sort of thing. The only ones in terms of like the pods that seem to, their value doesn't sort of change is some of the mid-level sort of Umbilium that are sort of hard but not too hard to breed, and the same with some of the Porcellias as well, like the Hoffman Zeggy and stuff. They tend to hold their value,
Yeah.
kind of thing. They're not an expensive one. They're not necessarily a cheap one. They sort of just tend to be sort of steady.
Yeah. No, definitely.
As it, yeah, the Crabbies and Cherry Blossoms have certainly dropped in price. I mean, Chris got Crabbies and I got Cherry Blossoms at the same time as each other, and they're a lot less now than what we paid for ours.
Oh no. But hopefully you can get that money back by breeding them and selling them.
Well, Chris has sold a few Crabbies. I haven't sold any Cherry Blossoms yet, but we're going to be swapping with each other anyway, because we sort of agreed that when we got them, because we got them at the same time. I was like, you breed the Crabbies, I'll breed the Cherry Blossoms, and we'll swap. Thing.
Good deal.
So we both get them, just like for like. Sort of, which is that for me. That's the hobby, in my opinion, is doing swaps with each other. You
I
can.
think so. It's really lovely because then you sort of support each other and help people expand their collections, and it's really lovely. Like I like how that is part of the hobby, and generally it does feel like it's a really nice community.
That's it. Yeah. So, well, in terms of sort of social media and stuff, so you said you started off on TikTok.
Yes.
And so, sort of friends of yours sort of convinced you to sort of do that, and I sort of the main thing, because I think when I looked, you're got a bit over 7,000 followers, which is huge.
Thank you. I felt really honored when I hit 7,000 the other day, and I think it's just crazy to see that it's reached that level from something I just generally didn't think would gain any traction. But I think honestly, I was really lucky because quite early on, I had a video of my rescued salmon-pink bird eater where she's sort of poking her fangs through her temporary enclosure that she was in, because she came from like a I'm a celebrity, get me out of here experience. So
Okay.
tarantulas don't really enjoy being handled, and they are very much more observational creatures. But people were sort of doing these parties, trying to mimic the show, using her as like a fear factor. And some kind souls saw that she was in distress and essentially nicked her and then dumped her at a pet shop because they couldn't keep her. The pet shop then couldn't actually, they didn't really know how to look after her. So she was in a very small terrarium. She was in pre-molt, and they dumped loads of crickets and locusts in. So that was really stressing her. And it was sort of by chance that I came across her. They because I just happened to mention while I was paying, I was like, oh, I love seeing what tarantulas you guys sometimes have. And they basically asked me to identify her. They were like, we think it's a chili rose hair. And I just looked at her, I was like, no, that is an LP. That is clearly an LP. And I was like, she's coming home with me. I am rescuing her and getting her out of that environment. And I think that's why she was sort of grumpy and she was sticking her fangs through the little bars. But I filmed it to essentially show how big tarantula fangs are. And that video, I don't know what it got caught up in, but it went viral, and it has over 10.2 million views on TikTok, and loads of comments and interactions. And I feel like that gave me sort of obviously a bit more confidence to sort of see that actually there's more people that need to be educated. There's more people who are willing to support and interested. And I really feel like that's sort of skyrocketed me a little bit. And then sort of through the shows, it helped me meet, all you lovely people, and gave me the confidence to keep going. So I'm definitely really grateful for that. And just trying to expand now in case anything happens on TikTok, it's good to sort of reach out on Instagram. It's good to reach out on YouTube. I'd love to do long form content like care videos and just proper educational pieces. So I think that is definitely what I'm working towards. But I still do my sort of weekly live streams. They are my main things. So every Tuesday at 9 p.m, I'm live for Tarantula Tuesday. And I've started a new thing called Frog Fridays. So again, 9 p.m. on a Friday, I go live, and His Royal Majesty King Oscar normally makes an appearance. Sometimes he's grumpy, but that's sort of the plan, really. Oh, Donna! You are so sweet. Donna, thank you, my lovely. Honestly, it's the amazing support of people like you that help me keep going. And I just I have a lot of really amazing people in my life, especially like through some of the harder times. They've helped to push me. And recently I was sort of pushed to actually start a website. So I've actually just launched inverttparty.com. And the idea is, again, to showcase more about that education side. And I've been starting to upload blogs, care guides, things like that. I just really want to make that impact of helping to educate more people and help people get over that fear. So I do feel really lucky and just so grateful to be part of that community. That went very sloppy. Sorry about
that. No, that's absolutely, no, that's amazing. I mean, no, TikTok's not it's never been my main one. I've sort of, I'm sort of dipping in and out. I'm doing more and more on TikTok again now, and
Yes.
so that's it's like it builds up. So I think that's Instagram's my slowest builder, sort of thing. Definitely out of the three icons. I mean, YouTube's the main one.
Yeah.
And now, TikTok and Instagram, I tend to post pretty much the same sort of stuff on them. Often, like if it's any kind of short clip, it goes definitely on both of those. And then obviously Instagram, there's photos and stuff. And stuff. But yeah, I've started to see it's sort of growing a little bit. But long form's my sort of main one. I think it's because I started on YouTube in terms of the social media side of things. This is what sort of grown the most on the site. Always say kind of like, right, I need to film a video. Whereas sometimes I kind of forget that actually it's so easy with Instagram and TikTok just to put up a 15-second video.
It is, yeah.
But I sometimes forget. It's so easy also just to forget or take a load and then it's like, oh, I haven't got around to doing it. Oh, I need to do that. So,
it's easily done because especially when you're busy and there's these multiple platforms, it can really get overwhelming, I find. Like I'll sometimes, put together a draft video, have it sort of waiting to post it, and then I just completely forget about it because I'm so busy, with like full-time job and then doing everything in between. And then I'll sort of find it like months later and be like, oh yeah, I never uploaded that. So it's like the effort went in, but it just never made it public, which is quite sad, really.
I sometimes build up a few drafts and stuff. One of the things I've started doing more recently is, especially on TikTok, trying to reply to every comment, and if I can, with a video, even if it's just of myself talking.
Yeah, no, honestly, they are lovely.
As a way of doing that, especially with I've got new microphones which are better than the old ones, little step up sort of thing. Stuff just says, this is a quick, easy thing just to do. Now I can I've got always something to then post to try and put something out every day if I can.
Yeah.
But not also try and make myself, well, so because I've been there before, certainly like trying to post up like 3 times a day on Instagram and TikTok, and then just burn out from it and just like, nope, can't do this.
You have to take care of yourself in between. Obviously, it's good to value your followers and community, but equally, you can't pour from an empty cup, as sort of cliche as that sounds. Sometimes it's important to have that little break. And
That's it, yeah.
I feel like people are understanding, everyone faces burnout at some point. So just being honest and taking that little time away is really positive sometimes.
That's it. So it's like, instead of you going, oh, I have to do this, it's then, oh, I want to do this. And if there's a day where it's like, no, I can't be bothered. Cool, I can't be bothered. I don't pressure myself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I'll take a break. And then that way you put out better stuff anyway as well. You're not sort of forcing it. I need to start doing lives again on TikTok at some point because I haven't done a live for ages.
Oh yes, please. I'd love to, if you ever want, I'd love to have you on in one of my lives if you wanted to join or do like a co-live or whatever. It would be really cool to have you on.
Yeah, have to organise something at some point.
Definitely.
So, because obviously, when I've done done a few on it, and also actually on YouTube, where I've like just going around the zoo when I can, kind of thing, and just doing a little kind of live tour and stuff. But I think I've done one on TikTok where I've just been like feeding stuff. Because that is, at least just with a phone, it's easy just to have space to be able to do stuff. to do that. There we go. Yeah, Amy got burnt out after doing TikTok for a few years.
Oh, bless you, Amy. It can be very full on, I find, and it is nice. But like, what I found was I used to scroll a lot and doom scroll and like watch a lot of other content. But now, because I'm doing my own content, it makes me not want to do anything else on TikTok apart from that, because otherwise I just get like too much TikTok and you do get that burnout. So I think it's finding that balance. So yeah, hopefully you found that balance and hopefully you're not like pushing yourself too hard.
Hi Craig, how you doing, mate?
So lovely to see all the engagement with the live. Like, it's awesome.
So yeah, and it's something that in the future, when I want, I was having a look where I can perhaps even like do live streams at the shows and stuff, and just have stuff and just set up, just streaming the table kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think that'd be something that potentially people would be interested in. I'm pretty sure Mitch on Sing Universe done that at one point, or was doing that for a bit. Someone might correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure he was, at least for a bit, was live streaming like tables at shows, or his table at the shows. So, which is sort of cool. And I've seen like in other niches people do that at sort of expos and stuff, where it's just them across the table, just live streaming, and then even you can cut out various bits of it of where it's interesting just to post up as videos and stuff.
You should definitely try it at the next one because your table always looks absolutely fabulous.
I just need more devices because I just have the one phone and that my card payments and everything.
Oh no! Can't you borrow Amy's phone or something?
Sort of thing. So I'm looking into a new phone, which maybe just have like have 2 phones or something, or perhaps I can get like a little tablet or something for the car payments. But something that I can hook up to like I say, up to TikTok or whatever.
Definitely.
And just stream stuff when I show, because that'd be just potentially an easy one to do.
I think it would be really interesting because not everyone can go to the shows, so it sort of gives them like a first-hand look at what they're like, and you can sort of have people feature and say a quick hello, and I think that'll be really, really fun. So you should definitely try and do that.
Although I said missed both at the Scottish show yesterday, so hopefully next year. I wanted to go this year. I really did want to go. I even said to Lee and Luke, I'm probably going to book tables for Scotland, and then I just couldn't afford mainly the petrol there and back. And so So hopefully next year, because I do want to get up there and do it.
I really wanted to go as well, but
hopefully me and Amy can. Well, hopefully I can plan it better, or I can be a bit more organised and book it earlier in the year, and then it forces me to book a hotel or somewhere to stay, cheapish sort of thing, and even like save up the money for the fuel there and back. Sort of
I would have loved to have gone, but as you say, it's just the cost of getting there, and also I sort of wanted to spend a bit longer in Scotland as I've never been. Unfortunately, I had work today, so I wouldn't have been able to, and I was busy like over the weekend. So definitely hoping for next year as well.
So, and yeah, maybe hopefully make it a bit of a holiday and stuff, because it's been a few years since I was in Scotland.
I hear it's beautiful. Like, I think Edinburgh's meant to have really lovely like Gothic architecture, and it just sounds really magical.
And just the scenery up there, stuff, just the landscape. I mean, I saw Rick Fitzpatrick. He went to somewhere and it looked amazing. Although he was wearing he said he was wearing the wrong footwear for it. Like down these all these old stone steps, and he's like in flip flops going down to like this. I think it's called the Devil's Pulpit or something.
Oh yeah.
Don't
wear flip flops.
He said, "Was like, yeah, go down this in my flip flops." You're like, what are you doing? Like that. Wear boots.
Wow. I love that. Just why not bring flip flops?
What was it? Oh, apparently there's techie stuff. I'm not even that techie, but apparently there's techie stuff in.
Oh, I mean, I'm not very techie either, but that sounds interesting.
Just remind me, Amy. I just need reminding that it needs to be booked. There we go. I can get 4G routers, which are amazing, but I need a table bundle for power. Power always costs more as well sometimes. That's the only problem.
Everything costs an arm and a leg these days, even just breathing.
I just booked the show where it's on the booking form. You get one chair per booking. Any other chairs, you either bring yourself or you got to pay extra for extra chairs.
No way.
I was like, all right.
Wow. That is.
So we'll have one chair, and tend not to sit down anyway, but I'll have a camping chair with me just in case.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that is a little bit stingy.
And then it was like, yeah, if you want power, it's an extra 15 quid.
Wow.
Sort of thing for power. I was like, I mean, luckily I just take battery packs for my lights and stuff that I have on the table. Everything's battery pack.
Just got to bring it all yourself, really, at this point.
Yeah, it was like that's insane.
Will you be going to the Peterborough show?
I will be, yes.
Yay! That's my next one too. So
that's my nearest one. That's like an hour away.
Oh, nice.
In terms of like Invert Shows UK shows, at the moment I don't have tables. I'm on the waiting list, so fingers crossed I'll get a table or two.
I want to see your big crabs, the really cool ones.
At the moment I don't have any.
Oh no.
There may be some there even if I don't trade.
Okay.
Because my supplier he's got tables there.
Nice. I might have to message you after for the secret gossip on how to get one.
Sort of thing. And last time I saw him, he was like, "Well, how did the crowds go?" I was like, "They went straight away." It was like that because I took four. I was there 2 at the Bristol show. They sold before the show even opened. I wasn't even in the hall at the time. I was outside. I came back and they'd gone. I was like, "Hang on." Wow. And then they'd be like, "Who did they sell to?" I kind of wanted them on the table, even like at least one to the end for people to see it.
Yeah, well, you managed to get that, which was good.
Luckily, they did help. It was actually ended up being Creepy Crawler UK that bought them both. So yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." I was like, "Cool." And then took 4 of 2 different species to the Essex show, and by 2 o'clock they're all sold.
Wow, that's really, really good.
So yeah, it was like, "Oh, he might see if he can get like a like a decent shipment of giant crabs in for Peterborough show.
That would be very cool.
Apparently, everyone wants field crabs. You only ever got them because it was Amy's idea. It was Amy's idea.
Well done to you, Amy. You are the brains behind this.
Sort of thing. It absolutely was Amy's idea.
Oh, I'm still so grateful.
Yeah, Jeremy couldn't resist and nearly got nabbed by Phil's crabs. Yep. Jeremy had to poke him.
Jeremy's always getting into trouble, I swear.
Absolutely. How's the Oratus sling doing that she gave you?
So good. Honestly, I was still so grateful for that. So it just molted the other day, which is really, really exciting. And it's actually put on a lot of size. Like I wouldn't say quite doubled, but it's definitely like very leggy. So I'm so excited for it to get its like bronze colours. And it was really sweet of you to give me one. So thank you again. I'll have to take some pickies and like send to you. And yeah, do lots of little update videos.
Yeah, I know when they were sort of molting into things like, yeah, it was like, we feel they're like doubling in size. They're like 2 centimeters already. What's going on? Sort of
They are fast growers.
Like, yeah.
They're amazing eaters as well. Like that little Rastus has done some incredible takedowns. Like literally rugby tackles a cricket the same size as itself. Like no trouble.
Yeah, they're little savages when they're that sort of stuff. But so many guys like, yeah, baby tarantulas, baby scorpions as well. They're little savages.
Take what they can get, I guess.
Oh, I was the state of Jeremy, Yessie, and Dave was hilarious. God.
Oh no. That's
too
funny.
I've seen some videos of Jeremy that either he shared or Luke shared, and it's like, oh dear. Jeremy and Luke together on a pub crawl around Glasgow. It's just like, that's just dangerous.
Oh god, from the stories I've heard. I think wasn't Luke also at Bloodstock or
Yeah, I never saw him at Bloodstock. He bumped into Chris and Alice, but me and Matt never saw him the whole weekend.
Probably near the alcohol somewhere. Bless him.
So he like bumped into Chris and Alice just before Gajira. So right near the end of the whole festival. So I was like, that's Luke.
What legends.
But I think he's already got his ticket for next year.
Amazing.
So, yeah, Amy's got some giants already.
Yay! Love Oratus slings and Vultus Oratus in general. I'm guessing that's what she means by the giants.
Yeah. He saw Chris for 2 minutes and then disappeared into the crowd.
Just disappeared into the mosh pit. Did I see Donna had some Tripepi? I would love a Tripepi. Please put me on your waiting list.
Oh yeah, Tripepi next year. Yeah, I've got a little Tripepi. That was gifted to me last year, BTS for my birthday from Amy Bolton.
Oh, honestly, I'm kicking myself because at Bristol, Spider Shop had I think it was an adult female Tripepi for a really, really good price. And I'm kicking myself for not picking her up. I should have just done it. So that's the moral of the story. If you see something at the Invert show, just grab it. Just do it. It will disappear.
I'm just going to put that link. So I've just got the link for your website. That's now in chat.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it still needs a little bit of work. I'm not the best at like coding and stuff. So I've got someone who's going to help me just make it extra lovely. But the main thing is I'm just constantly going to be updating it with like care sheets, little stories about my animals, and yeah, hopefully have a little merch section. And I want to also try and help other keepers. So I want to have like a sort of small business / creator feature, just highlighting, all the amazing people in the hobby. So that's all work in progress.
That's fantastic. I mean, Amy built my website for me. I have no clue about that sort of thing.
Oh, I might have to borrow you, Amy.
And it was Amy that kind of made me see that I had my excuses, my reasons for not having a website was just excuses, and it kind of pushed me to have a website and literally built it within like 2 days.
That's amazing.
And stuff. And just like, come on.
That's awesome.
Basically, yeah, done the right thing or pushing me and being like, Phil, kind of essentially being like, Phil, shut up, do it.
I think we are our own obstacles, aren't we? Like, I think that's definitely something I'm learning through life. Like, if you have an idea, just go for it. It's, you're more likely to regret not doing it than doing it and maybe not doing as well as you'd hoped. So I think that's definitely like sort of a resolution for myself. Just try and do it. And again, if I hadn't done that with Invert T Party, I wouldn't be where I am. And to be honest, now I've sort of got a 2-year goal. I want to grow up to like a certain level and be able to actually just dedicate more time to it. Obviously, I'm very much at the mercy of the algorithms and, sort of building fans and things. But just, the more sort of education I can get out there, the more I can help people, get over that fear and sort of, I hate when people sort of see a spider and they just kill it. I want to stop that. I want people to appreciate that it's a living creature just like we are. And they are harmless. They don't want to bother you. They, they're just doing their own thing. They're really fascinating. There's so many things we don't know about them. So the more I can push that message across, the happier I'll be. So that's like my goal now. And I honestly don't think I've ever been so like focused or fired up about something. So it's nice having that passion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, we totally are. And you just said, yeah, feel free to message her Facebook or I can give you a number or whatever.
Thank you so much, Amy.
My website and taught me, went through it all with me of like, right, you got to do it. And every so often I'm like, Amy, what do I do?
Honestly, thank you. That really,
how do I
really
do this? So, and now she's going to kill me. Phil, she needs to meet Peaches. Who's Peaches? I've forgotten who Peaches is. Amy's going to kill me now.
I need to know who Peaches is as well. I have a Peach who's my Xenethicist intermedia. She's very pretty. But who's Peaches? Is it a turtle or something? I'm thinking of like Bowser from Mario. He sings, Peaches. Has it got something to do with that? I don't know.
Night, Donna.
Oh, see you, Donna.
Hopefully see you soon, Donna.
Who's Peaches? The suspense.
I'm trying to think. As soon as Amy says it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah. Yep. And New River restaurant,
yes, please. I want to meet Peaches. What a sweet name. Honestly, that's lovely.
It's because I don't name any of my stuff, so I'm just like,
for some reason, I love the fruit names. So I have a lot of tarantulas named after fruit. So I've got my peach, I've got a kiwi, I've got a guava, I've got a mango, I've got a berry and a cherry. It's just like blueberry. Like, I don't know why. I just went for the food names. And I even have a tarantula called Cake. Just Cake. Why not?
I mean, it's a bit. Something that sort of certainly see sometimes on social media, and something I probably should do is name certain ones because that engages people even more if they're named.
Exactly.
I'm just terrible at naming stuff. And then if I do, I always name it something really obscure.
Something you can't pronounce.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. So I think one time, years ago, things like a snake or whatever, that was, the parents were trying to rush it with the vet or whatever to get seen by the vet. And because it was sort of my snake, they're like, oh, they needed a pet name for it. And they're like, what are you going to name it? And I was like, Euronymous. Sort of thing.
I don't like, know how to spell that.
They're like, we're not calling it Euronymous. We can't, how do we spell that? And it's just coming up with all these obscure, like, black metal magician names and stuff. They're like Phil, we've got to have something that we can pronounce and something that we can spell.
I was going to say, like, the pronunciation is very awesome and it is very metal, but I would not even know where to begin to spell that. Like,
I think that one ended up being called Mayhem instead.
Oh, okay, that's a very cool name. So through TikTok, I have some subscription tiers, and people can basically sponsor a tarantula. And what I sort of do, I have like these little blackboards that you probably can't see them, they're too small, like little blackboards where it'll have like the person's name and the name of the tarantula. And in the case where a tarantula doesn't have a name, people can give them a name, which is very helpful. And thankfully, so far, no one has given them a really obscure name. It's like been very sort of manageable names. Like one of the Goliaths is called Matilda, which is very sweet. I've got a Maleficent, and it's just nice, it's not crazy names. Whereas if someone said to me like Euronymous, I'd be like, is that a U? Is that an EU? Like, what is that? So yeah, if anyone is watching and if you're thinking of becoming a subscriber, please make sure you give an easy name that I can spell, please.
Well, I think it's something like, because I think Chris put here that as far as names, for the frogs, he has no idea who it is. I was just giving names to 400 plus tarantulas. It seems a bit pointless to him. He doesn't even know 400 names. So I think sometimes it's a very kind of almost like male female kind of almost divide. Like, I don't know, just like I can't be bothered to name stuff sometimes.
I guess when you reach a certain number, it's hard. Like, how do you do it? Like, I haven't named my Balfouries because they're in a communal. It's like I won't tell them apart. I don't know who's who. I couldn't even say this is Balfourie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Like, you just don't know. So I just haven't named them. They're just Balfs. They're all called Balf. Why not?
I don't think. I mean, if you just got a large collection that you're not putting on social media or that much, or whatever. There's probably no real point in naming something. It's more of a if you've got up to 100 or so, you can probably you might name a few of them or some of them, or like I say, doing the social media side of things, it creates that almost sort of more personalized sort of thing with viewership and stuff. It's a bit like sometimes in the zoo, most of the names are named because people want to know what the names are.
Yeah.
Even although again, a lot of the inverts I don't tend to name, but sometimes people do ask me what the names of the various tarantulas, various tarantulas are there. So, as I think that people just like things with names sometimes that aren't in the hobby sort of thing, or perhaps they are, but only got a couple of things.
I think it helps you. It's sort of, especially if someone's scared of, say, like a tarantula or something. It sort of helps humanize them a bit. And I have a really lovely subscriber who initially she was absolutely terrified of spiders, and like she couldn't even watch the live stream. She was like, "I'm really sorry, but I can't stay and watch. Like, I'm getting too scared." But then over time, she sort of like stayed longer and longer, and she got so confident that she ended up sponsoring that Goliath named Matilda. And actually, I think because she gave it a name, it sort of, made
it down that barrier.
Exactly. And now she sort of sees her as Matilda rather than a big, scary, 8-legged thing. So I think, giving them especially cute names, like how can you be scared of little Millie, I think that really, really helps. And as much as it's tricky to remember them all, I do cheat a little bit. Some of them have little labels on just so I remember. But I think, it's a lovely way to sort of help people see that, because you would give, if you had a dog or a cat, you would give them a name, right? So it's like, why not do the same? Obviously, numbers, depending on the numbers. It just helps, break that barrier, as you say.
Yeah, definitely. And taxonomists have done that with a few different spiders, when certainly with some of the peacock jumping spiders in Australia. It was a good few years ago now, like some new species were discovered, and one of them, the taxonomist called it sparkle muffin as its scientific name. Its species name is sparkle muffin.
I have not heard of that one, so that's going to be.
I wonder if you got asked, like, why did you? And they named one Skeletor as well. So why did you name them these sort of silly names? It's like, gets them in the press, gets a positive news story about them.
That's actually a very good point.
And that's how can you hate something that's called sparkle muffin?
That is a very good point. I love that.
But that's what, if we named it something more regular in terms of scientific name, most people wouldn't care. The only people that would be interested in that are spider people, sort of thing. And that paper would have just sat there, and only spider people and perhaps people interested in taxonomy would read it, and that's it. The fact that they called him one Sparklemouth and one Skeletor, that got in all the mainstream Australian press, sort of thing. They reached international press.
Yeah.
And so, other people then read it, got into various media forms because it was like, oh my god, this spider's been called this.
That is really cool.
So, and it was then at least not a negative spider story for once.
We need more of that because, films and media portray them as these horrible things. Even if you think of things like, the second Harry Potter, you've got Aragog, and even though he's all right, all the little spiders will end up chasing them. And like, there's just so many, sort of horror movies featuring spiders, arachnophobia, things like that. But I think there is a bit of a shift, especially with the jumping spiders. Like, I don't know if it was Lucas the Spider, the sort of animated one that sort of kickstarted it, but it was lovely to see people actually falling in love with it. And now, jumping spiders are very they're becoming a lot more mainstream in the hobby, and they can almost be like a gateway into getting over that fear. So we definitely need more incidents of like Sparkle Muffins or Lucas the Spiders or those feel-good stories, instead of talking about how someone got a mystery bite and they want to blame it on a brown recluse, why not share, the amazing benefits of their venom, research into their venom or research into their web, they are amazing. Like, we just need more focus on those positive stories.
Yeah, absolutely. As having, we see it all the time of, negative things when someone's got an injury and suddenly, it was a spider that done it, even if it's clearly not a bite of anything sometimes. But it's always a spider done that, or things like that. But I mean, in terms of like, you don't seem to see much that's on their venom when their venom is used in so many pharmaceuticals.
Exactly.
So I've even got some very early streams had they're not around anymore, but Venom Tech talking about stuff like that and stuff. And then I remember actually it was a good few years ago I was on ITV News, so I had to come to part to film some of the spiders and ask my opinion on it was spider webs that were being turned into music.
Into music?
It was a really obscure story. And then I was in there, and so I was one of the keepers at Hertfordshire Zoo. Sort of thing. They're like, played me this piece of music that had been created through like tracking a spider web or whatever, and pulling a spider web onto. I mean, it was obscure, but it was like, at least it's not a negative story.
Wow.
Being something different is like, it's only interesting.
I'm going to be researching more into that. That sounds epic.
Bruce's spoons deserve cute names.
Was that Dave and Nat, did you say?
Yeah, man, thanks.
Hello. Hope you're doing well, my lovelies.
How's the head, Dave?
And yes, Rich, they definitely need cute names.
I've heard about Dave's antics before show. He's not. He enjoys himself.
Definitely. Honestly, it's always really fun. Like at the pre-drinks, like the night before shows. It's just such a good laugh.
He's alive and Bart stole his soul.
Oh dear. I'll trade with him to get it back. Oh, Bart's a legend.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, no, some of the get-togethers, before show always a good laugh.
Definitely,
So,
you should come to the pre-drinks for the Peterborough one.
But it will depend because I'm not staying over there because it's only an hour drive.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So I don't book a hotel for that one, and depending on if I do get tables and what time I find out if I've got a table.
Oh yeah, you'll have a
say, look, even if it's the night before, if there's a table spare, I'll take it because I'll soon pack up some stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to most of them, like BTS. I tend to do nowadays because it's my birthday show, so I normally celebrate my birthday at that one. So I think next year it's actually it's on my birthday next year. BTS.
Oh, okay, big celebration then.
Double check. I'm pretty sure. I can remember saying thanks to Ray for organising the show next year to be on my birthday, even though it just falls on that day. I'll just double check. Pretty sure.
What a way to celebrate.
Yeah. So next year it's actually BTS is on my birthday next year.
Everyone, make note. We're going to celebrate Phil. We're going to have a big BTS show, and everyone buy him presents.
So that one's always good fun. Like before, commentary's normally a good one before as well.
Oh, I've not been to that one. I really, really want to try it.
Been some fun ones with Bristol. I mean, any of the ones I can get to, sort of thing. And then in terms of for my parents' show, Millnor show, we tend to do stuff after the show.
Oh, nice.
And have a sort of a get together in my parents' house because it's down the road from the venue.
Oh, no way.
And we've had some fun times out of Jeremy and Terry doing a sleeping bag racing, kids' sleeping bags, which they both fit in.
That is amazing.
Like
I'm going to need proof of this. I'm going to need some footage.
Dave is 80% proof vodka.
Wow. I don't know how you do it, but hats off to you.
Brian's asked if you went to the London show.
Oh, sadly not. I really, really wanted to, but I think I can't remember. It clashed with something this year. And annoyingly, it's not even like London's not that hard to get to. So again, hopefully next year or for the next one, because I do hear that's a really good one.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And then we've got just after Peterborough on it's like a couple weekends afterwards on the Saturday the 27th of September is the AES show, which is at the same venue. Is at the Kempton Park Racecourse.
Oh, it's the same. So I am actually going to that one. So I'll be at the AES show, but I haven't been to is it the Capital show, the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't officially been to the Capital show, but should be at the AES. So if anyone is going either to Peterborough or AES, you know what I look like, please do come and say hello. I like to think I don't bite. Please do say hi.
Me and Amy are both.
Yay! I'll definitely be saying hello and checking out your plans.
I've just had a confirmation email this morning from AES to say that I've only got one table there. Just because it was a little bit expensive, so I thought I'll just do a table because it'll be my first time properly trading there.
Nice.
So see how it goes as a trader there.
You could always, even though you only have one table, I'm assuming they haven't said anything about the height. So if you got a good,
I don't think so. And I think that one you can stack as well.
So yeah,
a good you can't stack. So I'll keep the costs down and do one table. See how it goes trading. That one AES is good because you never know what's going to be there.
It sounds really awesome. I'd never heard of it until I spoke to Ray, he's an entomologist who sometimes helps Bugnut. And
Ray Gabriel.
Yeah, he is an absolute legend. And he mentioned it to me and said, it's a good one to join. So I was really happy to sort of learn about it.
Yeah, it's a weird one because so many people haven't heard of that show. Yeah, it's the oldest show.
Wow, that's crazy.
And so, it's the original Invert show kind of thing as well.
Oh.
And it's weird. It's across 2 floors.
Wow.
Although now I don't know how much is going to be up on the other floor because in the past couple of years it had a different organizer and it wasn't greatly organized. But it's got something different now. But like the main part of it, you got go livestock traders, but you got your dead stock traders and all your pin stuff, including there's normally someone there who just does the full on cabinets.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, like in an antique sort of style.
That's cool.
Various charities and forums. So you got like the Diptrus forum, so a whole bunch of people just talking flies. sort of thing.
That's different.
You got out. You got all the books as well. Lots of different bookstores,
Wow.
and like even like booksellers, like really old entomological books and stuff. Right up to sort of more modern day ones. Various artists and stuff doing entomological art and stuff. So it's like everything.
That honestly
If,
sounds incredible.
if it's anything invertebrate, it's there. You people doing field equipment and stuff. So
Wow.
like Watkins and Doncaster are always there with various bits of field equipment and stuff, as well as pinning equipment and all this and the other.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, yeah, no, honestly, that sounds so interesting. And I almost wonder whether you'd also get any like beekeepers or like beekeeping.
There might be some bee stuff there as well sometimes because there's all sorts of There's literally if it's invert, it might be there.
Wow, that's cool.
I mean, the early days of it was mental. Some of the things I've had happen there. Some of my highlights of invert shows has been there in some ways because I remember one year after Poja, who were based in Paris, when they were able to come over, they always had an awesome stand. I was there, and then there was someone next to me, like kind of not knowing what to get. You sort of having a think, like, oh, how do? And Anna and Crystal they were super busy, so I was so I was like, oh, if you're going to start helping the guy out, sort of thing, in terms of what I'd recommended, and then I didn't even realize, didn't clock who it was until I just sort of looked up and it was Bill Bailey. I was just there helping Bill Bailey pick out what inverts he wanted to
Wow.
buy. We're like, oh, like,
No way. That is so
I
cool.
didn't realize.
You're just so engrossed in the bugs. I love it.
Chatting about different species, and he was like, oh, cheers, sort of thing. And I was like, oh my god, I've just helped Bill Bailey buy inverts. What's going on?
No way. Okay, that is a really cool claim to fame.
And stuff. And if you ever watched like things like Really Wild Show back in the day, Nick Baker's been there buying stuff
Wow.
and stuff.
So
I
we can
haven't seen
expect
any like celebrities there for years, but there used to be like some big names that would go to that show.
Oh, I was gonna say you're the celebrity who's gonna be there.
So, I'm just a random guy with a phone that films stuff and puts on the internet.
It's the new I say, that sort of creator economy is definitely the new sort of level of celebrity. Like we are essentially bug influencers, like invert influencers.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to sometimes think about and be like that. That's what we do. What we are and stuff. And certainly it's weird when I get contacted by like Arcadia or Habitat because I'm partnered with them now. So as one of our influencers, I'm like, oh, I'm not an influencer.
But you are, and you literally influence Bill Bailey.
It's always that weird thing. It's like, oh, am I? But
that's really, really awesome. Very well deserved.
Actually, he's got a table at Claire's Invert Show and Southern Invert Show. I probably am going to book a table at Claire's Invert Show. That's a brand new one.
I got the little flyer for that, so hopefully I can make it to that one as well.
So I think it's like the weekend before my parents' show, the Halloween show, which is always good fun.
That's awesome. I love like when there's new shows because it's like it's different. There's it's just cool to see different vibes and different people, and it's nice to see.
That's it. Yeah, and different ones. Yeah, again, different ones have different vibes about them. Like what you're going to get with an Invert Shows UK show. It's going to be manic to begin with and stuff. You kind of know who roughly these sort of people are going to be there.
Yeah.
And then like the Essex show, it was really nice because so many people like in terms of the customer base were even fairly new or don't go to many shows. So it's like, this is all new people and traders I don't see at other shows.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is nice. And then with our little show, the Halloween Invert show, and this is its third year, but like the first year we done it, most of the people there hadn't been to the show before. that sort of thing. And it was like it kind of showed that there's that almost want and need for the smaller shows as well
Definitely.
and stuff. And then last year we had more people turn up, which is fantastic. Hopefully we'll have even more this year, and this year we've got Dave's Little Beasties coming, which is
Oh,
which is
iconic.
awesome. And stuff, which is awesome, mainly because the camera lady wants to come.
Love it.
I feel
She
that
is also
talking,
a
so I was
legend.
like booking them in. It was like there's only a few tables left, Dave, and like camera lady just like, please, Dave, come on, let's go.
Yay. We love camera lady.
And then like when I told her like he's agreed, he's signed in, she's like yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
They just thought, guys, thumbs up, guys, or I'll post my biggest centipede through your bedroom window. It's trying to crawl over your face while you sleep.
Love
Dave,
it.
you wouldn't want to post out your biggest centipede, though, would you? Come on.
She's just a baby. Don't want to send her out. Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Mildenhall, Mildenhall Halloween Invert show, which is in Suffolk, which is organised by my parents, which are Amazing Reptiles.
Oh, that's awesome!
And
And
if
also,
you want to wind them up, especially my mum, you just say #PhilFest. And
hashtag I love that.
And then you get in trouble, and I get in trouble, which is always fun.
I'll definitely be trying to go to the Mildenhall one as well, and hopefully, if I do, hopefully see you there, Artie.
Mars just coming.
Hello.
Victoria's in bed. Hope Victoria as well, Mark, and hope you are too. Yeah, done the Bournemouth show too. Yes, I'm booked in for Bournemouth next year.
That's awesome.
That was a fantastic show as well. Like fantastic vibe about it and stuff. And I think as Chris said, some people prefer the smaller shows because they're kind of less busy and stuff, and you don't get that overwhelmingness of busy people. Because certainly stuff, and I don't. This is some problems, but certainly a lot of people within the invert world don't like crowds. Don't get overwhelmed very easily. In crowds of people and stuff, and so some of the small shows that have that little bit more space or a little bit less busy, they're not feeling quite so rushed and stuff, and you can get to tables a bit easier.
It's definitely like as much as I love invert shows, like once it's over, I just feel like I need a whole day to recuperate.
Yeah, Amy certainly does sometimes. It's because it goes so quickly as well sometimes, like especially as a trader.
Yeah.
So, like you get there early in the morning. Sometimes you're leaving stupid o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I get to a show.
Wow.
Set up, and then in a space of a few hours, you're chatting to everyone, sending stuff. You're trying to get around and film everything and buy stuff, and and then at the end you're just like, oh my god, what happened?
The stress is all just a blur.
And so, and you're like, absolutely. It does take it out of you, and you're like, that's me done socially for a few days.
Yeah, literally.
I'm social out. So.
I love I think it was last year at one point I was literally like it was an invert show each week at one point, and I was just so knackered by the end.
I think was that last year or the year before? There was it was AES and Peterborough were the same weekend.
Wow.
AES is always on a Saturday, so literally I've done I think it was AES Peterborough and then like Coventry. There was like 3 shows within two weekends. So, and at the end, most of us traders had done all of them. It was like, oh, we're shattered.
Just need a whole holiday.
That's a lot.
It is. Oh, Artie, that's awesome. I'm definitely going to do
fantastic to hear, Artie. Yeah, I said most of us are riddled with anxiety. There is a lot of that in the.
There is. Inverts are anti-anxiety pills.
What advice would you give to someone who struggles with anxiety and panic attacks but wants to go to shows? So I don't mean you say you're going to come to the Milner one because that's your closest one. That is, as one, well, my parents organise it, and I'm sort of the social media side of it, and everything. It's a lot quieter than Invert shows, UK shows, or BTS, whereas they get 2,000 plus people. Ours, what was it last year? Around 400, I think. That sort of ballpark. And it's a small event, but most of the traders, me included, and there's others there. If you need a space to get to, that's just just to sit down, just be like, oh, can I borrow your chair? Can I sit down? Most of us will be like, help yourself, go for it, have a chill, sort of thing. All of them you can go in and out as kind of as you please, as well. And so, for going for Invert shows, UK shows, they normally have long queues, and it can be manic at the beginning. So you may want to go, perhaps, leave an hour or two after the opening or whatever, and it'll be a bit less manic. As well, but again, a lot of the traders there will accommodate, and stuff, because you won't be the only one. And stuff, probably easy half the people there kind of thing they struggle.
I think what I found was that, because I struggle with panic attacks and anxiety, and I'm always really nervous before I go, but once you're in there, because there's such a strong passion for the tarantulas and the animals, it almost helps as a distraction. Obviously I appreciate that might not be the case for everyone, but with me, it's almost if I just focus on the animals, then I'm okay, and you sort of forget a little bit about all the people. The other thing that I like to do as well, it's probably going to sound a bit I don't know, maybe a bit nerdy, but I love going in and seeing what vendors will be there, and also if there's a map of the place, and just knowing my route around, it sort of just gives me a bit of peace of mind. And then I can sort of make a little, I guess, action plan in my head. So for example, I'll say, okay, I need enclosures, I'll go to custom aquaria, I need, I don't know, whatever it might be. I sort of plot myself a little plan and focus on getting that. And then I find after that I can sort of relax a little bit. And as you were saying, Phil, it's very easy to get in and out of the shows. A lot of them will have, some open doors where you can just sort of step outside, and you've got your wristband, you can get in, take a bottle of water as well. I find that really helps me, especially maybe put some ice in it or something. Or something that really helps me with my anxiety is actually eating a fizzy sweet, because it sort of helps distract your brain from the anxiety. But obviously, again, I appreciate it's different for everyone. But I just find having those little hints and tips, and just the fact that everyone's in the same boat, really, everyone is so lovely there. And from what I thought would be scary, it's actually become one of my favorite times of the year. So Invert shows really are lovely, and I think you'll love it, Artie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they talk. Yeah, just go for it. If you have any issues, look for people you recognise on YouTube vids. We're always happy to help. Take it outside for a breather, have a chat, and I think all of us that do video, I think I can speak for pretty much everyone that does videos, whether it be on YouTube or whatever. Just come and say hi to us, or just do you mind just stepping outside with me? I need a breather, and I don't. Especially if you don't know anyone there, if you're there by yourself or whatever. And pretty much all of us would, I think. Or if we are busy doing something, we would go, oh, I can't, but this person might be able to, or whatever. And stuff. But certainly, most of us will have chairs behind our tables that we're not using at that time, that we'll just say, go and have a sit down, or whatever. I know when my mum's done that IHS shows before, which I'm not going to this year, but first year in don't know how many years, I'm not going to an IHS show. But I remember, if Amy's still watching, it must have been last year, or was it the year before? Went off for one, came back, back, and there was this kid just sitting in the chair behind the silver mum, and I was like, "Whose kid's that?" Sort of thing. I mean, like, didn't have a clue. My mum did. She was like, she was having a bit of a tough time, so Dad asked if I mind her sitting down there. She was like, "No, go for it."
That's lovely, though.
Because the art shows get majorly busy.
They do. I have to say, that's the only show where I've been to where I've felt overwhelmed. I think it was the one last year or the one before. There was one where everyone was literally shuffling like sardines because it was so busy. And it was
Yeah, the
really
one
hard
up in near Sheffield,
yeah, that's the
in
one.
the this old ironworks.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that venue is like another button. My God, it was like the first show there was like, I can't move. What the hell?
Yeah, it was
Like,
awful.
we had to like plan our toilet breaks. Like, right, oh, I might need to go to the toilet in half an hour. I'll leave now, and I might get there in half an hour because it was just like I think they had like something like nearly 10,000 people turn up.
Yeah, it did.
And it was just like anyway, it was horrible.
It was so hot and like as I say, it's the only time I've ever felt overwhelmed at a show. And I remember standing like by the open doors, and they came over and closed the doors, like the security, because
Yeah.
they said it was like a security hazard or something, or like blocking the fire exit. I was like, no, please, I need the fresh air. Like I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I've never had that with any of the Invert shows, and like with the Mildenhall one, like I'll try to be that Artie. So basically, Artie knows me, and hopefully like I can be some comfort if I'm there, as I'll be someone you know. So I'll try and be there.
But yeah, I mean the Millwall show, I would say, I hope most people will agree that had been. It's a almost more community based show. It's kind of a village hall style show, kind of thing. So you get lots of little families that come and stuff primarily, and yeah, some literally, like I say, yeah, the first show we done there. A lot of people are just like, we're not able to get to shows normally. So I think this is the first one. This is going to be our first ever spider. And so, and a lot of the traders, like people like Just Francis, said that they felt they could spend 10, 15, 20 minutes just chatting with a customer.
That's
and
awesome.
And helping advise and of which different ones stuff, and they didn't feel that pressure of, oh, you're trying to buy, sort of thing. They still made good money, yet they had that nice balance.
It sounds amazing. Honestly, I'm so excited for that show.
So hey Dan, Hannah Critters is in chat. Glad to see you back live. I was trying to become my spot child. Not quite yet. Not quite to that extent, but I had a bit of break because of festival and stuff, and just need a bit of, but yeah, they're back. The lives on Monday are back now. So I know you were doing a talk at Glasgow, weren't you, Dan? How did that go? Pretty sure you were doing a talk up there. There you go. I just thought they'll be their first show at the Halloween one.
Can't wait.
Remember the Halloween show, we'll put out, if you come in basically in costume, in type of Halloween costume, it's a £1 discount on entry.
That's amazing.
And I believe we'll probably be doing prize given for best costume. We did last year. Thing.
That's awesome.
And there'll be raffle going on as well. So yeah, not a raffle that raise money for the National Centre for Reptile Welfare. So my parents rehome quite a few animals from them, so I like to raise money for them. And there'll be reptiles to handle and see there as well, because there'll be a reptile display on in the back room. Hey, Mineral Misfits. Well, it's worth mentioning that everyone tends to be friendly and welcoming, absolutely. And if anyone's not at a show, ignore them.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met anyone nasty at any of the shows. Like,
no.
They are honestly like the best people, and yeah, I've made some amazing friends through the community. So definitely advise going.
Okay. So yeah, brands will 100% come up to us content creators.
We don't bite.
it says take 3 shots of absinthe before going in, and you'll be fine.
Will you even make it in? Is the question.
That sounds like a Jeremy sort of thing. That go to show drunk.
Yep. Or at
Go
least
to show with a hangover. Somebody done his talk at Bristol show with a hangover. It was funny. He still done a good talk. Bless him. He's done a good talk, but it was like he was hanging.
That's impressive.
Just make sure you stay away from
From a
man
man.
named Dave. He's a terrible influence.
Oh, poor Dave. He's lovely, really.
That's a good point, Mark. Might as well remember to say who you are, maybe your online name to the community people to help pinpoint seeing you in chat instead of just a face going blank. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, sometimes people say, "Oh, hey Phil," and you're like, "I don't know who you are." Just yeah, if you see us, it's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Artie," and like, "Aha, we know."
That's a good point. I think I've just gotten used to people calling me Invert now or Spider Lady. Like, I actually think I prefer it to my real name. So yeah, just when I introduce myself, I'm like, "Yep, hi, I'm Invert. I am just an invert."
Invert, how is Ember doing?
Oh, Ember is amazing. We fed Ember yesterday, and she did a very, very cool takedown. So in case you don't know who Ember is, so Connor kindly sponsors Ember, and Ember is actually a hybrid brachypelma. So as you know, hybrids are a big no-no. She was a rescue. She'd been dumped at a just like a pet shop in Sheffield, and I was just having a little browse after the IHS show, funnily enough, and I saw they had like a tub just labeled hybrid. So out of curiosity, I basically said, "Oh, like, just like, what do you know what it is?" And they sort of said, "Oh, all we know is it's just like a cross between some brachypelmas. Like, it's not a pure brachypelma." And she sort of looked initially like a cross between sort of Smithy and an albiceps, like really, really odd, which I don't really think is possible, but I'm not even sure. But as she's grown, she's looking more like a Smithy, but I think there might be some Bohemai or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but the thing was, he sort of said, you can just have her for free because we don't want anyone breeding from her. I mean, most hybrids won't be fertile anyway. You don't really want to be mixing species, you know. So I just sort of have her as a beloved pet. She's very fun. She loves to come out on my live streams. I'll take the lid off and literally she's out, loves crawling everywhere. She's probably the only tarantula I have that likes to be handled or likes to be handled. But no, she's doing really well and she's absolutely beautiful. Eating well as always and attacking her water bowl. And thanks again, Connor, for sponsoring her as well. I know you love her very much and want to steal her.
Yeah, hybrids essentially, yeah. One of those things that certainly in the past have happened a lot, and some of it just where people just haven't realised.
Yeah,
like I'm sure there's Smithy Hamori hybrids out there bound to be.
I think so.
I mean, there's Boomgami hybrids out there. Like most Boomgami aren't pure Boomgami in the hobby. Very rare to find one that you can confirm is a pure one.
Yeah, you'd almost have to do a really complicated DNA test.
So, yeah, unfortunately, but at least, yeah, nowadays it's better in terms of trying to go over. I mean, I remember the time when there was no pure, true curly hairs in the hobby.
Exactly.
They're all just hybrids. They're all just a hobby form sort of thing. Nowadays, you don't see those anywhere near as much.
Yeah.
Still see them sometimes. I mean, I did see. Was it was either last year or early this year. Someone had a bunch of pairs of curly hairs, but they were done as hobby form. And I was like, yeah, I don't think they sold a single one because everyone was like, no, I don't want them. Why would I want pairs of hobby form with curly hairs?
Exactly. It's interesting because I remember talking to Ray Gabriel about breeding curly hairs. Obviously, we're not short on them in the hobby. I was just interested because one of my sort of first tarantulas is a lovely curly hair called Tiki, and I literally just wanted to breed him to sort of have the continuation of Tiki. But Ray raised a really good point that actually a lot of the time when people do try and breed them, if you sort of say, "Oh, I'm looking for a mature male curly hair or female," like often it might not work because people don't know if it's a hobby form or they'll sort of try and mix the two, and I'm sure the tarantulas can sort of tell sometimes that it's not the same. Like my friend has a mature male curly hair and he is practically ginger. I've never seen one that color. He looks exactly like curly hair, but he's literally a light sort of orangey brown, and it's just fascinating how they've sort of changed. But again, there is that lack of knowledge and people will just breed them, and then unfortunately you sort of lose the species and create this issue of hybrids. So I think there does need to be more sort of education around it.
No, definitely. So now I just thought, it all went well. Biggest audience he's ever spoken to, and really interesting experience. Fantastic to hear. It's cool doing talks at the Invert UK shows. It's very, very cool.
Oh, I'd love to join one of those.
Which Dave missed. Dave was probably had a sort of head. He missed that one.
Probably still in bed.
Said that they've got a dead bride costume. That'll be perfect for the show. Yeah,
yes.
I'll give you a £1 discount.
Would love to see that.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, he was the first talk at 12. I think most people were still trying to convince themselves they weren't hungover by that point, Dave.
Oh, hats off to you for still doing the talk.
Kind of thought you always has to ask about Ember.
I know you love her.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll one day kidnap Ember, I promise.
Right, I'm gonna change all my locks. I'm gonna keep her at a different address.
Yeah, not before. Yeah, Safuska, Highland, and Loden probably most crossbow tarantula. Yeah, the pokies are an interesting one because obviously so many pokies are classed as endangered, critically endangered, and stuff. Yeah. Within the zoo industry, there was potentially going to be a stud book on the pokies, and it was only going to include Metallica because it was the only one that zoo taxonomists deemed pure enough within captivity.
That is really interesting.
And then the main person who was doing that isn't in the zoo industry anymore, and nothing's been done since.
Oh no!
There's anything to be done about this? I'm not versed well enough in taxonomy and all that to determine whether the start sub books on pokies or not. But yeah, there was going to be one on Poki Metallica, but yeah, there's not very many breeding programs when it comes to inverts, unfortunately. But a lot of the time, in the zoo industry, if we're starting a breeding program for endangered inverts, we're not using ones that are already in captivity.
Yeah.
Because you just can't guarantee that they're pure enough anymore. Unfortunately.
It's kind of a shame, and then especially when you sort of because ideally you don't want to support wild caught because it's kind of sad breaking them away from their habitat. But obviously, in some cases, to sort of help preserve the species, you sort of have to. So it'd be a shame if we sort of had to go back again because we've created so many hybrids to collect more from the wild.
Things like that, that would only happen if you can't do habitat restoration enough or quick enough to support the in situ conservation of a species. And then, a zoo like where I work wouldn't be involved in that. That's places like ZSL and Chester or RZSS, Edinburgh and Highland. And they'll be looking at doing species recovery.
Exactly.
Of if we don't go out and take these are just going to go extinct. And working with the relevant governments and authorities and everything else to be like, right, can we do this? Yeah. Is this feasible? Or even better than if you can't do it in situ in terms of within the habitat, right? Can we build a centre to do it at least within the country, or do we take them out of the country to do it, and then hopefully can take back kind of thing.
Exactly.
Which has been done with a few different snail species. It's been parch are now being released back to to the wild. which is fantastic. But it takes a long time to do everything.
It does. I think, it's a lovely cause to actually work towards that conservation.
Hey, Green Exotics.
Hello.
Yeah, it's a different world doing to look at the conservation part of it and stuff. So like most of the time, in terms of invert conservation, that within zoos, it's behind the scenes. Don't really see it. I don't think because it's lots of tiny things that most public aren't interested in and stuff. And then lots of field work sort of thing. A friend of mine, Adam, who I've got him into inverts. He trained here and stuff. He's now at Highland Wildlife Park.
Oh wow!
And, he's a invert keeper on their conservation team, working with native inverts. To breed and release and stuff, and then like to monitor release sites and to do this at the other and stuff. And he's doing some fantastic work up there.
That's amazing.
So, like running the kangaroos, so and working with things like pine hoverflies.
Wow, so that's very cool.
Breeding those in captivity.
I just think that would be so not only interesting, but actually being able to sort of say that you've helped preserve a species and bring something back from extinction. Like, how amazing would that feel? Especially given, as humans, we're destroying so many habitats, and just giving back to nature, I think, is a lovely thing.
Well, that's it. I mean, he was at Bristol Zoo when Bristol brought in the desert asphodel spiders. So they brought those in from the wild because it's the world's most endangered spider. And so we got all the agreements to literally go out onto Desertas Grande and get some of the spiders and get them away from the island before they literally died out. And get them and bring them into captivity and start studying them. And so they were the first place in the world to ever breed them. And he was a part of that. Along with being the only place outside of Australia or Oceania to even breed Lord Howe Island stick insects.
Wow.
So because they got agreement from Melbourne Zoo to have some. So he's been able to see the exotic sort of side of conservation with inverts, and then he's now doing just the native side. Which is fantastic because a lot of people don't realise just how many invertebrates are endangered within the UK.
Yeah, that's so true. Even I think like our ladybird spiders are getting really rare, and
one of our most endangered spiders.
Yeah, and
not many people are allowed to know where they are.
No, they're really like rarities, aren't they?
I used to know someone who knew where they were, and he wasn't allowed to tell me.
Wow, proper confidential.
Yeah, sort of thing. You can know the sort of area because everyone knows the sort of area they are, but you're not allowed to know exactly where they are unless you got a license for it.
Oh, that is nice though. It's important to preserve them,
and they need that protection. Sort of thing,
they do.
The males are stunning. The males are absolutely stunning. And it's like, there's a lot of people that go and collect those.
Bless them.
As of yet, they don't. I don't think there's any zoos working with them in captivity, but there's zoos working with them in the wild.
Wow.
Sort of thing. And that's if we can keep it like that, that's good.
Definitely.
Build up the numbers that way.
Got to keep them going.
And that's what captive breeding is going to drastically change within the decade due to all the advances in genetic engineering. It's a really interesting time for conservation. I think things like Frozen Safe and stuff. Game RZSS have their genetics lab and stuff. Goes on to do a lot of work with that. And kind of what dream job is to do conservation work and any studies zoology and wildlife conservation. Fantastic, Connor.
That's awesome, Connor. You're going to do great.
So then, in terms of conservation work, there's obviously zoos for, your captive part of it. If you manage to get somewhere like London or Chester, some of the big names, there's those chances to do more active role with sort of conservation programs and stuff with that sort of thing. Or there's literally the sort of habitat side of things of wildlife trusts and various things of doing habitat work, which is all fantastic work as well. And that's all within the UK, and then the stuff obviously around the world as well.
There's so many different elements to it, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and then we all kind of work together. Like Natural England, that's a fantastic one within the UK. And a friend of mine, he used to be a zookeeper. He now works for Natural England, and he's working with Natural England team, Natural England more with zoos and stuff, and so that we're working more closely together with things and stuff, and trying to work out where like zoos can help out with more native conservation work and stuff, which again we should do. So everyone wishes just sub to the channel.
Thank you so much. That really, really means a lot.
Rob's just subbed as well.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you. It honestly means the world.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just put slow worms are endangered. We have them breeding in the garden, and we leave areas wild on purpose to help them. Fantastic.
That's so lovely. And
that's actually one of the easiest. Whenever people ask me like work, what can I do? They'll just leave a garden wild.
Yeah.
One of the easiest. It's basically a lazy thing, but it's fantastic to do. Leave just a little patch, even if it's just a meter by meter patch. It's actually quite a big patch, really, but that's amazing what wildlife that can support. Just a little patch like that.
Exactly. It's like is it no mow May? They say like
no mow May. So that's that's always a good one to try and do. Because that's May's kind of fairly early in sort of India and spring, and that's when a lot of things are starting to flower within the grasses and stuff, and leave some of the weeds. Like don't have a manicured lawn. Because actually weeds make it healthier as well. So, and then things like your dandelions and your clover and stuff, that feeds all the bees early on in the year. And so all the other pollinators. So we rely on those sorts of flowers.
Yeah, and don't use weed killer because it does affect, all the pollinators, and it's really sad. You see so many bees dying because people sort of put the pesticides on like the dandelions, and obviously that's one of the main things they sort of feed on early on, and then it goes into their system and unfortunately, kills them.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of things that essentially be a lazy gardener. If you got a bit of a garden, then that will support wildlife.
Exactly. Have a wildflower meadow. Just chuck some seeds.
Green report. Can you hear dogs in the background?
Yeah, it's only I haven't got my mum's live at the minute. I can just it's Lily, my black pom, trying to get attention. I'll close the door. I'm like, just no, I'm busy.
I'm here. Give me attention.
Exactly. I'm surprised you can't hear my crickets. Like the silent crickets are just chirping away.
All right, they can probably hear mine. I use black crickets a lot, so they call even louder.
Nice. It's quite relaxing, actually.
I never noticed him, and then I'm surprised Craig never pointed out when he was in chat. But normally someone like, "Oh, I can hear cricket." It's like, yeah, that'll be mine. That'll be mine. So, I tend not to use the silence, and they're not silent at all.
They're not. It's all just marketing. Don't believe it.
Yep. It completely is. When they first came out as a speak, because the reason they started breeding that species, the banded brown ended up getting the virus that wiped out most of the banded browns.
Wow.
You can still get banded brown. So literally the wholesalers were looking for another species that was similar to banded brown.
Mm-hmm.
And they found this other species, and then they were like, oh, they're that bit quieter. So originally they were just called quiet.
Quieter crickets.
Sort of thing. They're trying to say, but no one really. I don't know which one done at first, but one because started calling them silence instead, silent cricket, and of course people were like, "Oh, they're silent, we'll buy them." And then obviously, fairly soon, people started going like, "They're not silent," but
Nope,
but
don't
still,
believe it.
the name was like, "Yeah, no, they're not silent at all,"
They're not. It gives false hope.
sort of thing. But yeah, I don't. I mainly use Black Christmas. I will use Banded Browns and Silence, and I think it's always good never just use one food source.
Yeah, no, it's good to mix it up. Like, I think dubia roaches are quite good as well.
I was a sport, not silent crickets.
Yeah,
Whereas we hates crickets prefer locusts.
crickets are annoying, not gonna lie.
Dave's never uses black crickets.
I feel like there's a story there we need to hear about. Black crickets.
Sort of thing. I do not find black crickets smell awful. So they only smell bad, and this is actually kind of any cricket, if they're kept in a too small a space and too humid. Right. So as soon as I get my crickets, they come straight out the tub or out the bag, or however I get them into a bigger tub. And then with basically plenty of ventilation, so there's basically no smell then. And so if you keep them on like some bit of substrate as well, that basically absorbs any kind of smell. And then they're fed and sort of water and stuff, kept warmer than what a lot of people would keep them. So because crickets ideally need to be kept around 30 degrees.
I remember I did a tour of ZSL. It was like I think ZSL After Dark, and they took us into like the cricket feeder room. And
was that Ross Hickles by any chance?
I'm not sure actually, but it was so hot in there. It was like 30 degrees, if not more. And I remember being really surprised. But obviously, they're all doing really well, massive colonies and lots of.
If it was a guy that was really, 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 really into his live feeds and super excited to chat live feeds, that's Ross.
I feel like it might have been then because he was very enthusiastic.
That's most probably Ross. That sounds like Ross.
It was very fantastic.
Yeah, his whole thing is live feeds.
That's really cool.
What he does at ZSL, London Zoo. He's done all our football hours, all our sort of more recent care sheets. I signed off on the black cricket one. I was the first signature on that one to be like, yep, I agree with this. And he done studies and found out, if you're not keeping your crickets at 28 to 30 degrees, they're not digesting the food you give them.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And he's like, and if you keep them at 28, 30 degrees, their digestive time is 6 hours.
Oh my goodness. You're not
like,
that.
So he's like, feed them. He's like, so as he said, he advises feed and like for the zoo, like, give them some food, and then wait for maybe a couple of hours and then feed them out. He's like, if you wait more than 6 hours, they've got nothing in them anymore because they've digested it all and food out.
That's actually really useful to know.
Sometimes when I don't think he's released his paper yet because there's a whole bunch of stuff that he was like, is going to shake up the game because he wants to do away with the whole term gut loading.
Yeah,
because he can't stand it. It's like, no, does nothing. It's like keep them on a good diet and they'll be full of things because gut loading. Everyone says, "I'll feed them, 24 hours." By that time they've got nothing in them anyway. They've food all out if you keep them right. So it's like just make sure they've got food in at all times. And the amount of food he goes through just for a bin of crickets is like, oh wow, they eat a lot if you keep them at the right sort of temperatures.
Because they're just digesting.
And they eat them lots, sort of thing. But
wow.
Then he's kind of gone, oh wow, yeah. But I find, as long as they're, with the crickets, as long as they're kept clean, got plenty of ventilation, because they don't like feeling crowded. If they're crowded, they start attacking each other. And black crickets need high protein as well. They prefer that higher protein stuff. So if they're not given protein, they start attacking each other. So I always give them like good quality dog biscuits and stuff.
It's quite barbaric when they do start chewing at each other. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. But a lot of people, will moan about the smell of crickets, and especially black crickets and stuff. And yeah, I get it. If they've been sat in the tub for a few days, like just in the cricket tub, then they're horrible, sort of thing. So, like, absolutely. And yeah, if you get them, and get them from, if you go to the shop, get them and you got to carry a bag. As soon as you get home, get them out of the carry bag and get them out of that tub. Because otherwise, you're going to just attract forage flies and just goes horrible quickly.
And also mites. I've had that before in the past. The little, like, is it white grain mites or whatever they're called?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, they just appear out of nowhere.
They're a pain.
Yep. Sort of thing. But otherwise, no, I never have a problem with my black cricket smelling. And I have them in my lounge. So,
A little bit of nice ambiance.
that's it. Hey, cool. Oh, it's 20 past 10. Realise the time. It does fly. So we'll start round that up because I do have work in the morning. You've probably got work as well, probably.
Yeah, I do. Actually, still need to have my dinner as well. I don't know if you've had
So, I just thought that let's get a big enclosure, fresh food every day and protein. They're treated like royal crickets. Yeah, absolutely. When you keep things that eat live food, you got to look after the live food as well. You got to look after your live food
100%.
best. Yeah, because what you put into your live food is what you're putting into the animal that's eating your live food.
Exactly.
Sort of thing. So, well, it's been a fantastic stream.
Thank you so much for having me. And
thank you for coming on. We'll certainly have to have you on again.
Yes, please. I'd love to come on. And if you ever want to join me on TikTok, please feel free. I'd love to have you on.
Yeah, we'll have to do that at some point. Yeah, definitely we'll organise a week that I can come on.
And thank you so much to everyone who joined and watched and engaged with the stream as well. It's lovely to see some familiar faces.
Thank everyone for watching, especially if you watched from the start. Make sure your links are in chat for you, but they are in the description apart from the website, because I didn't know about the website until.
No worries, it's literally brand new. So
but I should be able to stick it in afterwards, I reckon, probably. But we'll just make sure that all your links are in chat before we go, and people do go over.
Thank you.
And subscribe, follow, all that good stuff on TikTok.
Please. And the website's very easy. It's just inverttparty.com. So please do go check that out as well. And come and say hello to me at the Peterborough show and the AES and also the Milton Hall show. I'd love to meet you guys.
And there's a website as well. Yeah, that's all the links in there. So go and find any platform that you guys are on. That would be amazing.
Thank you so much.
And we find the outro video. There it is. Cool. Well, thank you for coming on. Thanks everyone for watching. My next video will be out on Wednesday. And next week I've got another guest coming on.
Can't wait. I'll be watching.
So that'll be an exciting one as well. So cool. Right, it's been great. Right. Night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Night.